So for somebody that doesn't have any physical music, they're just getting into it, what do you have here that can help somebody?
Yeah, I mean, I give recommendations all the time about like turntables for sure. Like I say, start medium. If it's an adult that can afford it, I mean, I carry some of those suitcase turntables and for kids. There's like pointers that they need to know. Some of those suitcase ones don't necessarily have actually trouble playing some of the newer vinyl just because those grooves are so tight and the counterbalance on those arms are not as strong, so they kind of bounce a little bit. So like I warn kids about that, but I would recommend anybody just starting new, like start with whatever you're comfortable purchasing. Even you can get, frankly, a used turntable is often just as, certainly sometimes better than some of the turntables you can get new. Get one of those for a low price. If you need to put a new belt on it, like do it. Start there. Start with a couple of decent shelf speakers for sure, because that's where the sound resonates from. You're going to get that rich, deep analog sound, but you need to be able to hear it without the crackle of a cheap speaker. So it doesn't have to be expensive speaker. For my shelf speakers at home, I just like did a search and was like, what is the best shelf speaker for a good, for a good cost, and found decent ones, and that works for me personally at home. And then making sure your stylus or needle is fresh and new and clean and ready to go. And then like if people don't have a lot of money, just scrounge like the used section and find some classic albums. Like I have stuff that sells from anywhere to $2, $4, lots of $2 and $4 and $6 records that would be considered just classic. Like you could put it on and like hear one great song after another. And then I have ones that are like $300, Miles Davis kind of blue original pressing, $300. Like that's for people who want to get into the collectible aspect of it. But you want to listen to just a good, rich, deep analog sound, you can get it off of a used record for like $2, $4, $6. Yeah.
Nice. Do you still have the Audio Technica?
Yeah, that's what I use at home, and that's what I sell here. So then I would say like the mid-level one, there's a good mid-level one that's nice. I would always say plug them in, Those are Bluetooth, so that's nice for people that want to throw a record on and even just have headphones on. And then the one I use in-store and personally at home is an Audio Technica 120, which is like a very, like, for audiophiles, like very like low-end one. Because you could buy a house with some folks' audio setups, right? So mine is very low end compared to some that come in here and talk about their systems. I'm like, that's more than my car, like more than my truck. So yeah, so you could spend a lot, but you can get the good news about that is like once you hit, I think like a good mid-level one's going to get you that great sound no matter what, because it's already going to be better. And to compare, I always say like listen to a record, listen to a track that you can get on digital, frankly even CD, and find that track, play it on a good turntable system and play it digitally or stream it or play it on CD even. They are lost. There's loss naturally because they have to compact and compress the sound so that analog, those rich sound waves get compressed, and so it becomes, some say like tinny or flat. But it's true. It's the science behind it, right? Like you want those big, deep, rich sounds that you can get out of the basic, like kind of sound of a needle in grooves, like gives you that analog quality sound. So I would say, if you don't believe me, just listen to them side by side, and you'll hear the difference. I was DJing for a little while and having fun with that, like spinning records, and I would go back and forth between because I didn't have enough albums, frankly, to be a full-blown DJ. So I would go back and forth between like vinyl to like playing off my computer. And man, I could tell the difference. I don't think anybody else could, but it was like, it would go from like boom, like deep basses and rich sounds to like, oh, it's flat, it's flat sound through your computer. So it's just the truth behind it.
Yeah. Oh man.